Hey everybody. Today we're going to go over how to read a distance versus time graph. So let's take a look at the graph before we start. Over here on the y-axis we have distance. You always have a label on a graph, and make certain that you always tell people what your units are, in this case m for meters. On the x-axis we have time, and again we're telling you the unit, it's seconds. So let's start reading the graph. At 0 seconds when the graph begins, this person or this object is at 0 meters from the origin or from the start. So they're on the starting line or they're at home, something like that. At 1 second, they are still at 0 meters. At 2 seconds, they are still at 0 meters. So from 0 seconds to 2 seconds, they haven't moved. A flat line on a distance versus time graph shows us that the thing is stopped. It's stationary. It's not moving. At 3 seconds, this object is now somewhere between 5 and 10 meters. Go ahead and just give your best guess. I think that looks like it's about 7 meters away. If you think it's 6 or it's 8, that's perfectly fine. It's not a problem. So this thing is now moving because now it is 7 meters past the starting point. Let's keep going. At 4 seconds, it's about 15 meters. If you think it looks like it's at 14 or something like that, again, it's fine. At 5 seconds, it is 20 meters from the beginning. At 6 seconds, it is still 20 meters from the start. So between 5 seconds and 6 seconds, for this 1 second here, it's stopped. It's not moving. Again, a flat line shows us a stationary object or a stationary person. Now, as we come along at 7 seconds, this thing is, or this person is 10 meters from the start. They were at 20, now they're 10. That means they are traveling backwards. They're traveling back towards the start. We sometimes say that they are moving in a negative direction. Anytime on a distance versus time graph that you see the line going down, the person or the object is moving in a negative direction. At 8 seconds, they have returned to the start. They are 0 meters from the start. At 9 seconds, they are about -7 meters from the start. That means they reached the start and they kept moving past it. At 10 seconds, which is where a graph ends, this person or object is about -15 meters from the start. So let's go over the whole thing one more time very quickly. For the first 2 seconds, this thing stayed at the start. Then the object or the person started moving forward, and it kept moving until it got 20 meters away from the start or the origin. It stayed still for 1 second. Then they started moving backwards. They reached the start, and they kept moving backwards until they got -15 meters beyond the starting point. I hope that helps you to learn how to read a distance versus time graph.